All right, now our private cloud is deployed. So you should see a screen similar to this, and then we're going to go to our private cloud. So like all other Azure services, there is an Azure portal page. So this, as you see here, this is the private cloud, the AVS private cloud, and here's everything you need to be able to configure, manage, administer, build the cloud. So we have it deployed, but we don't have it wired up to anything. So what we're going to be doing is this. At this point, the private cloud has been deployed. So you have this box here. What we now need to do is set up the networking so Azure VMware Solution Private Cloud connects to the Azure backbone. And how it does that is by building an express route to an Azure VNet. Additionally, Azure VMware Solution needs to communicate back to the on-prem environment, and it's going to do that via Global Reach, which effectively is like cross-connecting the express route coming from on-premises and the express route coming from Azure VMware Solution. If you do not have an express route coming from on-premises, you would skip this part, the express route global reach. You wouldn't be configuring that, but you would still have to connect the Azure VMware Solution express route to a virtual network gateway here. Typically, if there's not an express route coming from on-premises to an Azure VNet, there's a VPN built. There's varying methods to be able to facilitate on-premises communication via VPN to the Azure VMware Solution Private Cloud, and I would suggest getting with a Microsoft architect to best lay out how to do that. So first thing we need to do is go identify this virtual network gateway. If you don't already have a virtual network gateway, you're going to need to create one. So here's the virtual network gateway we're going to attach the Azure VMware Solution Express Route to. To be able to do that, we press the Add button, give it a name, Express Route as a connection type, and we're going to redeem an authorization. So to be able to redeem an authorization, you're going to need an authorization key and a peer circuit URI from the AVS Express Route. So to get that, go back over here to your private cloud portal, go to connectivity, go to the Express Route tab up here, and you're going to request an authorization key. This process only takes about a second. All right, then we're going to copy the key here, go back over, paste it in, and then go back and get the peer circuit URI, which is the Express Route ID. So it's going to go from an updating state to a succeeded state. And now there's connectivity from your Azure VMware Solution Private Cloud to the Azure backbone via this virtual network gateway. Next thing we have to do is establish connectivity from the Azure VMware Solution Private Cloud to the on-premises environment. And if you remember back to the earlier part of the video, we do that via establishing an Express Route Global Reach connection. So again, go back to connectivity in the AVS Private Cloud portal, go to Express Route Global Reach, and we're going to add a connection. So as you can see here, there's some info that we're going to need. You're going to need your ExpressRoute circuit ID. This is the on-premises ExpressRoute circuit ID, and an authorization key from the on-premises ExpressRoute. So if we go over to our ExpressRoute circuit that's coming from on-premises, we need to request an authorization. So we're going to press add, give it a name, and hit save. Now that it's finished, we're going to copy the authorization key, go back over, paste it in, and then go get the circuit ID, which is this. And paste that in and hit create. And now we see that it's in a connected state, so we now have our AVS private cloud connected to our on-premises ExpressRoute circuit, and if you were to look in your on-premises router, you should start to see routes showing up from AVS, and you should have full communication, presuming all the appropriate firewall rules are in place, or there is no firewall, and you'll be able to communicate from on-prem and hit your AVS vCenter and ultimately your AVS workloads.